administration is trying to do, that would be that would be some form of miracle to transform Jamaica in 9 years to where Jamaica is coming from. We still have places. I was just looking at a video where people were drinking dirty water from
Mr. Vegas, but
a place.
To be fair, you know, both political parties have presided over the affairs of state since our independence.
Of course, but when we're talking about what change of government and then change, but when you're looking at 18 consecutive years of the PNP, then you have a different story. You would have to tell me, you would have to say, oh, Andrew Holness or the Jamaica Labour Party got 18 consecutive years and did nothing. Because I could not be sitting here telling you that, oh, 18 years and nothing happened with the Jamaica Labour Party and I'm vouching for another 9 or 4 years. I'm telling you now that the Jamaica Labour Party and Andrew Holness need a third and a fourth term to transform Jamaica to the way how we're supposed to be living as a people. We're not supposed to be living, swinging, doing parachute with bags after people defecating bags. We're not supposed to be living like that in this era.
Well, well, then what do you say to those persons who say to you, well, Mr. Vegas, the party has been in power for 2 terms. They ought to have done better in addressing some of the, all right, some of the problems you speak about.
Let us contextualize even this 9 years that we're talking about. First, you have to remember that this administration was faced with many challenges. Yeah,
yes, as all administrations.
Yes, but to the degree where the whole world was shut down during the pandemic, we have to take that into consideration. So when we take that into consideration, and we had other administration had buried and stuff like that. But the point is, when you're recovering from a pandemic and then you're hit with another disaster, then you're gonna have setbacks, and we cannot prevent natural recurrences. We cannot prevent act of God. So what I'm saying is, when we take these things into consideration and look at the real time that this administration had and where we're at now, it's already... I'm hearing a loud noise. Is that your background or mine?
Yeah, man, it's my background. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, sorry. So when you look at the time lost, and where we're at, how quickly we were able to recover from the pandemic, that we were a model country. These things we have to appreciate, and the administration that was able to come through with these results. So what I'm saying is, if you're seeing something, you have a talk, we say, if it don't break, don't fix it, You have a talk there, So when you look at what's going on, and the money, more money that we have to spend. If we got the debt to GDP down from 100 and, some say 127, some say 135. Depends on which study you look at. But when we get the debt to GDP down by almost half, and we have more money to spend in the country, you see, then we realize that this administration is on the right path, because some people don't understand the economics of that. When we have more money to spend, we can take care of more things. If we did not have any money to spend, all those years that people are talking about, because at some point we have to start getting the debt down and have more money, to spend on the country. And the ideas that this administration has used, like with the airport situation where they take a certain amount of money in layman term and get some things done. You see, this is a working administration. Everywhere you look, family, neighbor, everywhere you look in Jamaica, you see something happening, bro. Everywhere you look, you see something developing. Everywhere you look, you see a road fix.
Yes. Okay. I understand that every constituency, the spark thing is going to step up. I am a believer in democracy, though, Mr. Vegas. I don't know about no extended period in government. I think that governments that stay for extended periods, there tend to be challenges, but that's for another discussion. I have a couple more questions for you.
Just to add to that, sorry, but but just to add to that, we are not operating outside of a democratic society. Hence the reason why we have an election that is not yet due. So when the election is called, it will be constitutional.
Right. So, Mr. Vegas, envision for me the third term. What does it look like for you? What are some of the things that are not happening now that you would love to put on the agenda in the third term?
Well, there are so when I think they measured how many roads are in Jamaica, so now they can target other regions, other areas. Like the other day, where I came from, a Pigeon Valley, the road is very bad there, and I reached out and I called. I said, "Is Pigeon Valley on the list?" Yeah. So there are so much things to be done. We have to get the education situation, up. That is something that we have to tackle, and I believe they are trying to put
you have the benefit, Mr. Vegas, of a education. So I want you to talk to me a little bit more about this. In the third term, I hear the party chairman talking about the third term is the people's term. And I went into a community today, and I must tell you, sir, despite all the successes, we still have a far way to go, Mr. Vegas.
Very far way to go.
Yes,
that's why I told you that it's not going to take just another 4 years.
When you think about Jamaica's problems,
right.
and those of you who are members of the People's National Party that are listening to me, and I know you are listening, it is one of the problems that your party has, because you really have not told us how you plan to address some of these problems. The fact of the matter is Jamaica requires additional work. So Mr. Vegas, tell me, what are some of the issues that you think the government should put squarely on the agenda as they go for this third term? Should they win it?
I think if you look at the whole Aspire program from the Prime Minister, then you will get a good understanding of where he's heading. So just looking at the program and look what they have planned for education. Look at the programs that they're trying to implement, or I think some are already implemented in the system, where they have AI. Children will be afforded AI and other means where they can get their pass rate up. I think those are the things that we have to look at. We have to look at areas where this administration is trying to take people out of poverty. One of my favorite programs that the Prime Minister has on the agenda is the Hope for Children program, where this program, the government will be putting money aside for children living in poverty or living or registered on the PATH program or state or under the government's care. This well, I call it a foundation, will basically money being put aside until these children become a certain age, 18 years old. Then they can get this money to start a business, a business that I think, with some form of guidance or some form of overseeing, whatever it is, but they will be able to start a business. So we're not just talking about doing something now. We're talking about the future of the children. And when we look at other programs like the heart system, and this administration has totally removed the fees to go to heart. And over 120,000 people the last time I checked were enrolled after the fee was waived. And not only that, there is a stipend where people can get to and from. So I think the plans are in place to take people out of poverty, but people have to want it. It can't be placed there and people ignore it, and then you have people on the opposite side saying, oh, this is foolishness, or criticizing programs, and people do not take advantage of the opportunities. You have to take advantage of the opportunities. China did not become a first world economic country by not making sacrifices, by not doing the work, by not educating their children. We have to get to the point, even as parents, that we have to do a better job as parents of standing up with the children. Go back to the days when we used to stay over them, even when people couldn't read and write. They stood with the children, and if them see a wrong bang, them just know says a wrong bang, and you have to get it right. You have to come home with the book the next day and them sit a ticky. We have to get back to those basic principles of making sure our children are not on TikTok or on the internet with their phones, and parents are on TikTok wasting all the time where they should be overseeing their children. Then we send them off to school unruly, send them off to school, don't want to learn, send them off to school because they've been up playing games all night, and expect the teachers to create miracle. We're having children doing these things, and then we expect the teachers them to just plug in their brains when they come to school and be like, full it up of information and they're going to pass their exams. It's not going to be that case. We have to get back to the fundamentals. When we had a higher passing rate, what were the things that we were doing? Some of them parents need to come off of the internet and take care of Pitney homework.
Okay. Do you think, Mr. Vegas, that the Labour Party has outlined an aspirational vision for Jamaica at this time that tells the people of Jamaica that they deserve a third term? And if there is that vision, tell me what it is.
First of all, because this is so evident, what is happening is so evident. The PMP, one, cannot put a plausible plan forward to say what they're going to do for people. As I said before, Mark Golden said he was just basically giving the people a hope. Some form of hope in his budget presentation. They had to do get a rerun on a Saturday to do some press conference to highlight what they're trying to do. But when you look at this administration, the only reason why people are not talking about what this administration is doing, one, because the media, in my view, is complicit and compromised. When the media is compromised, the main outlets are compromised, then you're not going to get the information. So then we're left to the mercy of people who want to spread misinformation and disinformation. Yeah? So your judgment or your eyes are clouded by lies and misinformation. So what do we spend most of the time talking about? Andrew Holness has 28 bank accounts. When it's just a sound good catchphrase and a lie. So people are spending more time talking about certified declaration, statutory declaration. People are spending more time speaking about things that I personally believe are less of a priority to the Jamaican people if they really ask them. What do Jamaican people care about? Poverty, crime. That is what they're more concerned about. We are bringing down the crime rate. We have to work now on getting people out of poverty. We have to get to the point now where people can afford food. This administration has increased minimum wage by 158% in 2 terms. 158%. If you look at all the previous years, since 1992.
Yes, Mr. Vegas.
The most has ever been added at one point was $800.
People are not likely to vote on the past, sir. They want to vote on an aspiration. And I am asking if the party has provided that clear aspirational
and
path.
That is what I'm saying to you.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying to you. When you have a digital era where everyone has a smartphone, but it's not everyone who's using the phone is smart. The information is there. We have budget presentations, we have press conferences. However, when people are bombarded with misinformation, the negative sometimes takes center stage until the truth gets there. So this administration, Mr. Andrew Holness, has put forward a plan called Aspire. It sounds good with what you're saying. So the Aspire program, he detailed it on many occasions. The other day I was watching the Prime Minister leasing some land to farmers. How many people paid attention or shared that? When you see farmers leasing land and the Prime Minister is heavily invested in irrigation and all those things, and it's telling you the areas. The other day I ran an experiment. I wasn't alive. And I ran a little experiment. I omitted Andrew Holness's name from a policy. And I read it in the context of it is Mark Golden's policy. And the PMP that was on the platform was like, yeah, man, them thing them about, that's why I have to vote for Mark Golden. So when I said, okay, let me read what is actually here. Yeah? Then he was like, so the information is there. It's just people choose to spread misinformation. The media is compromised, in my view.
Okay. Mr. Vegas.
And we cannot get the right information to the people
Yes.
with the digital era that we have.
I see. Do you think that the party has oversold this idea of prosperity and has not been able to deliver it? Do you think that it has oversold it?
This party should be doing more to sell it. Because trust me, we have had one of the best finance minister that has really taken us out of a place where it could have been catastrophic for the economy after the pandemic. The policies that Nigel Clark was able to implement and the measures that he took. At one point, the PMP was all against Nigel Clark, wanting him to resign. When they learned or heard that he was leaving, the PMP was acting as if it was doomsday. What are we going to do now? The PMP was saying, now we're in problems because Nigel is leaving. So if you look at Nigel Clark's record and how he was able to steady this ship when we were going through the roughest of time, then you will understand why this administration is underselling what it has done. This administration has managed to keep recession at a level, at a low, where there is some impact with the goods and prices, but we are in reach of getting this country to where people can live with affordable wages. We have increased the threshold, what the PMP said couldn't have increased. We have increased it to now $2 million, where people can see a little bit more in them payslip. Those things are what we should point out. We have to point out that this administration is actually playing nice. We should point out that under the PMP, the teachers had wage freeze non-stop. This administration, since it has, Andrew Holness took the reign, have increased the teacher's salary by over 100%. The information is there. People don't go speak about how much a politician them get. The politicians were underpaid.
Very good.
Yeah? So when we look at these things, and the teachers, you will want to see, notice the nurses not saying anything. Because them get increased too.
Yes.
This administration is not freezing wages. We should be, to answer your question in a nutshell, we should be doing more. Instead of you saying we're overselling, we are underselling. We should be doing more. We should be on the mountain, top of a blue mountain with some loudspeakers.
Yeah, but the point going on, Mr. Vegas, is that when you promise something, the idea of prosperity, you know, Mr. Vegas, there is great income inequality in Jamaica. You know that, sir?
Say one more time.
Income inequality.
Okay.
In other words,
no, I got you.
Yes, the growth of the economy benefits some more than others, and you know the policy of the government to open up educational opportunities. It's a brilliant thing, you know. But leave that alone. Let me ask you this, Mr. Vegas. If I am an uncommitted voter, and I have not yet made up my mind who to vote for, and I come to you and I said, Mr. Vegas, you know, I'm thinking about voting for the People's National Party in the election because of their housing policy. How would you respond to that?
First, I will have to give you the pros and the cons. Yeah? I will have to ask you the question to make sense of a man without a payslip can be a bag juice vendor or a banana chips vendor. And if he decides that he's going to, okay, I'm going to start paying some NHT. I don't have a pay slip. I don't have to prove how am I going to fund this venture. But I can sign up with NHT and I can pay some money. And then Mark Golden is going to give me a house to rent. And then he says I'm going to own the house. So the first thing I'm going to ask this person, what if you cannot afford the rent at a certain point? What are they going to do to you? Are they going to take you down to the courthouse and make some police come drag you out, you and your family? Suppose something happens to you and you have children and so forth in the house, and they fall on hard times and cannot pay the rent. What are they going to do? They're going to come evict you? Who is gonna maintain the property? Who is gonna pay to maintain the property? So those are the things. They said they're gonna build 50,000 houses in 5 years or 4 years in their first term. When I look at 50,000 houses and I say, okay, they said they're not going not going over 10 million. All right, if we calculate that 10 million, we get 500 billion. I'm asking, where are they gonna get the money from? These are hot promises. It's like he's trying to sell, as Mark Golden say, a hope. Where are they gonna get the money from? Where are they gonna get this money from? 500 billion to build 50,000 houses in 5 years or 4 years.
So your message to the uncommitted would be, don't vote PNP?
I cannot tell a person what to do with their right to vote. It is on you. I'm not here to dictate to you to change your vote. I'm just giving you the raw facts. It is your choice. I'm not the one to take your finger and put in which ink. Yeah. And just for clarity, I think I saw someone said we're in a recession. I don't know if there was a misspeaking or some form of misspeaking or something. When I said earlier on about Nigel Clark's, he was able to steady the inflation and stuff like that. I think we were in a recession in the pandemic. I'm not sure.
Aha. All right. Mr. Vegas, you have done marvelously well, sir. I have enjoyed talking to you. Two persons have joined us.
Yeah,
I don't know if they Gustav. Gustav?
Yeah. Greetings, neighbor.
Yes, man. I'm wrapping up with Mr.
Greetings,
Vegas.
Mr. Vegas. Just greetings to
from
Mr. Vegas as well. Yeah, man.
Hear from me.
You just greeting him, sir?
Well, neighbor, it was a wonderful conversation. In fact, you know,
Yes.
I would have wanted it to continue some more. Yes, man.
Yes. You wanted to continue some more, sir?
Well, of course, neighbor, I know several others on the live and on the FYP too would have also been thrilled by the conversation. I would love for it to continue as well, sir. Uninterrupted, probably.
All right. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. Mr. Vegas, give me,
Yes,
let me just get a drink and I come back with you for 10 more minutes, sir, please. 10 more minutes?
No worries. No worries.
All right, good. Give me a second there. Gustav, thank you for that. Listeners, just give me one little second here. Let me just play something for you. And I'm going to be back with you. And we have online the politics and religion host, Mr. Vegas. Delroy slowly has asked us to do 10 minutes more. Mr. Vegas, are you back, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yeah, Mr. Vegas. Time come for many Jamaicans suggests that their individual circumstances have not changed in 9 years, and therefore they need a change. Now, I grant you, Mr. Vegas, that for many Jamaicans, life has improved. But for others, they have not begun to feel the promised prosperity. And as a result of that, time come for them. How do you respond to those persons who say, time come?
But time come for what? Time come for what? If Mr. Neighbor, if you're going to tell me that you want to take me out of a situation I'm in because it's not good for me, what are your plans for me? The only thing you have is a sexy slogan, a beautiful slogan, a catchy slogan, sir. Your slogan needs some financing. Your slogan needs some insight. Your slogan needs some inroad. Your slogan needs some transparency. What it is about, time come. Time come for what? Time come for what? What are the plans that the opposition has? What are the plans that the opposition have for the people? The only thing I'm hearing that oh, the 3 million threshold that Mark Golding ran on or campaigned on or was in his budget speech last year was omitted from his argument this year. Why? Because he knows that his argument is unrealistic. So what he tells the Jamaican people and people choose to turn a blind eye and talk about time come. That, oh, it's under review. What is he going to tell the Jamaican, the senior citizens that they promise they're going to get flat rate water bills? Or they have to pay a flat rate for water. Then they retracted it and say, oh, it's going to be a percentage of your bill. Time come for them to stop lying. Time come for them to stop lying about Jamaica having food insecurities. 50% or 55% of people are suffering from food insecurities. That was a 2021 quote unquote research that was done, and you cannot find the link on any reputable site. But they're running with it and talking about it was a recent thing done. Time come for the PNP to stop lying. Time come for the PNP and Mark Golding to come forward and tell the Jamaican people why they should vote for them. The evidence is there what this administration is doing. We can look at the data is there to support it. We have seen how the nurses and the teachers and the minimum workers' wages were increased. The evidence is there. The other day I was speaking to some teachers, and they were arguing about how much money they were able to save. Some thought it was more, but it was some nonetheless. Is it? So time come for what, sir?
Yes. All right. So, Mr. Vegas, the recent a recent poll suggests that the People's National Party is seen as the party that cares for the poor. I heard a conversation that mantra of care, I heard it today, of caring for the poor is being used by the PNP. Do you think that mindset is a correct one, and do you think it is real?
There's two things wrong with that. Just like everything is wrong about Dan Anderson's polls. There's two things wrong with that information. The same poll that you're looking at will tell you that the Jamaica Labour Party does a better job of providing jobs. If I'm providing you opportunities, how much somebody that is only come to give you a handout care for you more? I only care so I can keep you uneducated, I can keep you illiterate and in poverty. So when I need you, I can get you to do whatever I want you to do. That is what that is about. So people are indoctrinated to think that the PNP party or the Risers, the New Risers party, care about them. As I told you earlier on, from I was a little youth, when I had to go to shop, I see some people proliferating some misinformation about my age. When I was 7, 8 years old, I remember I have to be buying goods where them are married certain items to certain items. And since then, I've looked at the years coming up and realized that, oh, it was all promises, sweet sounding promises, but where have they taken us when they have this thing for how many years? What have they done? What have the PNP done so that Andrew Holness not become worry now, but if you fix everything? Andrew Holness should come see this country in a state where him would be the one to mash it up, you know. And one if you understand what people are asking of this administration. This administration, if they claim that something was done or people were living in good, healthy conditions, then we should be having a conversation, Mr. Neighbor, that Andrew Holness destroyed the infrastructure. Andrew Holness destroyed the economy. We're not having that conversation, sir. So what did the PNP do? They have most of the government for the past 30 years. What have they done, Mr. Neighbor, to point and say, we had this better life prior to Andrew Holness, sir. They're going to tell you, oh, we could have buy bread cheaper. The money that they used to use buy bread and biscuit and bun and cheese 20 years ago, would you be foolish to expect that the same money could buy bun and cheese now?
Yes.
You see? So there's an indoctrination there where people believe that this administration is supposed to create some form of miracle to fix every sector or regions of Jamaica simultaneously. When in truth, the way the PMP mishandled the economy, or the PMP did nothing of sort for the people them to come out of poverty. Why? Because it is important.
Is that fair,
poor.
Is that fair, Mr. Baker, to say that they have done nothing at all?
Nothing of sort. Nothing of sort. I was listening to one of the heads of this Risers movement, and he said he went to some comrades to visit comrades that were stalwart in the party from Michael Manley days. And when he went into the comrade house, he was looking at the sky. And the comrade children said they are no longer supporting no politics because mama and papa run back a politics, support people, how many years and them not live nowhere. And these people, what they're talking about, are from Michael Manley days. Show me the evidence that during this time, before Andrew Holness, these people have a good life. You know what I can show you? I can show you in 1972, where we had an 18% growth in the economy. I can show you that. Yeah?
Yes.
I can show you that the business started coming back to Jamaica after the people them runway because Michael Manley said catch a last flight out. I can show you that. I can use oral information of people who I'm familiar with that used to serve in the security system. And here all the soldiers them over camp used to eat weevil rice and them call them, and them give the mackerel name Dirty Girl. We hear stories. Show me what was done. Yeah? With 18 consecutive years of PJ Patterson, or 18 and a half consecutive years of PJ Patterson, which would be from 1992, when many of us who are here may be around at that time. Show me the beautiful Jamaica, the crime-free society that PJ Patterson built or left, the legacy that he left. As a matter of fact, PJ Patterson told you what he gave us. He said, make Jamaican man have enough girl.
I see.
Phone something. He said, make we have phone. We were moving into a technological era, a digital era. PJ Patterson trying to take credit for cell phones.
I see.
If we did not have cell phones in Jamaica, we would be like the Sentinelese people living in some jungle.
I hope we not get none of them girl this. Mr. Vegas, what would you say are the most impressive performances of the Andrew Holness-led administration? List me at least three. Things that
the Spark program. And why the Spark program stands out for me, because the person who's in charge of works, my brother Nesta, I can vouch for Nesta. He used to be my publicist at one point. I worked with him for quite a while. And he, as a young youth, I gave him an opportunity. And he was so fair and honest. When I saw Andrew Holness put him in that position, I said, yeah, man, one thing we sure say, the money for the road fix now go into the hands of people where I go take the money and pass out the work to them friend them or to them people them and take a part of the money and push it in their pocket.
Yes.
So I was secured there.
Sparks
so I can see how the money. Sparks is one. I can see how the money is handled.
Two.
Yeah. I see how Nigel Clark after the pandemic or during the pandemic, how this government was able to recover quickly, because we could have been at a position now where would be still struggling significantly, because people do not realize that there are some regions that are still negatively impacted by the pandemic. Yeah. And another thing I want to point to that is very important, because water is the source of life. This administration has taken the initiative to get water in places where some people cannot, because water can't hide, you know. We can drive with the cameras and we can record where water is now, where no water was during even the 18.5 years when PJ them have it, leading up to Andrew Holness administration. Water in some places where people did not expect they were going to have water. As a matter of fact, I was talking to my PMP sister the other night, and the man them in the background where she was talking about how the pipe them come, but them not have no water. And she was informing them, saying, no, we don't need to go sign up. So this administration with Mr. Samuda at the control. Samuda is his name, the one that is on St. Anne?
Link these achievements, Mr. Vegas, to the quality of life of Jamaicans. How would these achievements have impacted the lives of Jamaicans?
Well, if you just look at the condition of the roads, and people can get to and fro faster than usual. If you look at the school children, if school children have to wake up a certain time to go and stand in line to get buses, them can get more sleep. So we're going to have more rested children in the school them now. Because you see, we get school bus to the point where PMP said them now drive not the bus them. Yeah?
Oh, they said that?
So, yeah, because we have so much bus. Now where people saying, we have PMP on record saying, oh, them now take the bus them. Yeah? So we are seeing how the implementation of things that this administration is putting in place.
Because it is one of the weakness. Is that correct? Or weaknesses of the administration is that I don't think they have linked the achievements to the quality of life, of Jamaicans. You have to do that, sir.
No, but what you're missing, and this is what I don't want people to get ahead of themselves, and the Jamaica Labour Party has to be very careful. Because when you're talking about linking these things, and people may have come away with a bad understanding or a wrong understanding, that the Jamaica Labour Party is saying, oh, now you're okay. People have a problem with what the minister said. This term is about the people, and people will twist it and make it political. But what I heard was, we already put in the work to make sure that we can just focus on the people now, like a major focus must be on the people.
In other words, you have laid the
people in Canterbury.
You have laid the foundation.
Yes, the people in Mark Golding constituency and the people around the country who are living in deplorable condition. Now we have to focus on you. We have given you better police stations, so that means that we can bring the crime rate down in your area. You see? We have taken the initiative to put policies in place where, oh, you want to go to a certain program to get re-educated or to get a skill, we're going to help you to get there, and we're going to make you get there faster. So these are the things. We have initiatives in place where after you finish, you can get grants to start your little business. But what we must understand and what we must not get away from is where we are coming from. A person who forget their past is bound or doomed to repeat it. You have to remember where you were and be honest about it. You have to remember that PMP had this thing for 18.5 years. Straight. And you were spinning bags with whatever. And you're still spinning popular.
One thing
in 2025.
One thing I want to say, though, you see, Mr. Vegas, is that I believe if the people of Jamaica entrust 5 more years into the hands of Holness, that they mustn't let the people down.
There is already enough information there to prove that the argument could only make that could only be sensical reasoning if we were showing signs that we do not care about the people.
Well, there is
this administration, and why I support this administration.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Mr. Vegas, there is much to be done, sir. And I'm going to challenge you, as well as the Labourites listening to me, that Jamaica could be further ahead if we address some of our social issues. But it's linked to economic development, I tell you the truth. I tell people, for example, that productivity and production should become core values in the Jamaican lexicon, in the society. Mr. Vegas, I see a certain level of frustration in the society.
Right.
Yes, sir?
Understandable. But,
Yes.
but what we must understand, when we say we could have gone further, we have to understand that we must not leave ourselves out. This is very important, neighbor, for us to not leave ourselves out of the equation. Because if the policies are there and the opportunities are there, and we do not take advantage of the opportunities, then we can get up and cuss government right through. You know, come like say, people that support criminality, but then balbo crime rate. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes,
If
Mr.
we look
Vega, there are some pain points in Jamaica that needs focus. I don't want to just
100%. And this administration will already accept it.
Eh?
That's true.
You know,
And-
Mr.
and
Vegas,
I don't think the administration is denying
when you
that.
wake up 6 o'clock and you want to send your daughter $2,000 to an ABM machine, and every one of them down, it's frustrating, sir. these are linkages that we have to make in terms of
Of course, so the technical aspect of that must be sorted out.
Yes,
Yeah?
ma'am. Yes.
But what I
and so
believe though,
despite, the
and
progress,
just
despite the progress that we have made and
Right.
the progress
Right.
we continue to sell, we must make
Yes, sir.
people understand that we have not arrived. Yes?
100%, and that is the reason why when I said to you earlier on, it's not for this administration to run around and act as if we reach.
Right.
That is the key, no brother. We can't
Yes.
act as if we reach, but what we must remember, neighbor, we must remember where we're coming from. And we must remember, just a simple analogy, neighbor, if you're checking a girl, because you say her man not treat her good, you have to tell her what you're going to do for her. You have to show her a plan forward. If she leave her man and come to you, and you have nothing to offer, blame and shame is on she, brother, on her. You see? So what we're saying here, why are going to sell out or get rid of to accept what is there? Show me what is there, Mr. Neighbor, so I can even at least address it, sir. All I hear is
so as you go, Mr. Vegas, encapsulate for me the major difference that you see between whether it is ideological or philosophical. What would you say is the major difference between the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party? And as a spokesman on their behalf, why you would encourage Jamaicans to keep this party in power?
First and foremost, I am not a spokesman.
You're a surrogate.
I am not. I am a Jamaican first. Yeah.
No, you're more than that,
So-
Mr. Vegas. You have appeared on a Labour Party platform and given a speech a couple of times.
Yes, but that is a Jamaican at heart. I went to Washington D.C. to campaign
Come on, Mr.
against.
Vegas. The party must have gotten in touch with you and would have had some conversations for you to have appeared.
Of course, it will have to be an invitation, one, and it could be the matter of how do I want to appear.
Yes.
So remember, just like you have in this platform, and listen to you all the time, and you're a balanced person.
Thank you.
You allow both sides you allow both sides of the argument. So I am a Jamaican first.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I appear, I'm not appearing as a spokesman. So when I err or when I misrepresent a point, then I'm challenged. You see? Or getting taken out, or shunned,
Got
or
you.
ostracized,
Got
right.
you. Tell me.
So
tell
that
me,
is
sir,
important
as
to
you-
understand.
as you
So
close.
the difference is
Yeah, different.
the difference with the two system, in place is that we know what one is doing, we know what the other we know that the other doesn't even know what it is doing. You see? We are seeing what one side is doing, which is the Jamaica Labour Party. We are yet to see any one truthful, honest, plausible, workable plan from the PMP. Nothing, everything that the People's National Party, it's like they're playing testing. So they push forward. My brother Damien Crawford come out and say, yeah, man, we need to increase taxes so we can pay for education. And then the party don't agree with him, it draw back. We see another brother come out and say, oh, we have to tax imported goods. The party don't agree, it draw back. So we're seeing like they're testing. They're just running some little experiment on the people to say, let me see what going to stick. And the only thing is sticking so far is 28 bank accounts. So there's a fundamental difference with both parties. We see a working party and we see a party where it look like them don't want to do no work. Them just want to come take everything out of the NIR and pretty up themselves. Because trust me, just a little bit of semantics, they really look like they're out of government for a long time.
Well, that is a great opportunity for any opposition party. Let me end where I started, Mr. Vegas. You said to me earlier that you would be prepared, if asked, to challenge Mark Jefferson Golding for Southern St. Andrew.
Yeah.
You hear that, listeners? That Vegas is saying this is this is breaking news on Politics Plus, that he would be prepared to enter representational politics and challenge for the seat in St. Andrews Southern. Just aside, Mr. Vegas, I'm wrapping up, but what it is that you would bring to politics? What would you bring to politics?
Honesty, which I think is dear to me, with the people. I've always been an outspoken person. Not everybody can accept the truth. But I have to bring a level of honesty where I have to tell the people the truth about, like case in point, you just mentioned that constituency. I would have to look them in the face and say what you really need, what you want for your children in 10, 15, 20 years. What kind of society you want for your children in 30 years. When are you going to stop thinking about me, and start thinking about your future generation? Do you want them to come and live in the same condition that you've been living in? So I have to bring a level of honesty to the people, and then they can decide, you know what? I want to make a change for not just myself, but for my generation now and my generation to come.
Dr. Chang, are you listening? Go ahead, Dr.
Because what you have to understand, the neighbor, and you know, we can wrap it up after this, I think.
Yes.
What you have to understand, brother, you see this thing in Jamaica, what we call safe seat, it clouds a lot of people's judgment, brother. People develop this idea that there's a thing called safe seat. The only time we should call somewhere a safe seat is when you can drive through the constituency and the road them good. The only time you should be able to call somewhere a safe seat is when people not spin propeller. The only time you should be able to call something a safe seat is when people living in good condition with water, electricity, and all of these things, internet and all of these things in these areas. You can't call somewhere a safe seat and the building them dropping down from people, brother. That is not a safe seat. That is an unsafe seat, neighbor. If you're building them a drop down from people, it is an unsafe seat. This idea that people must get up and continue to vote PMP or JLP, no matter the condition that you're living in, is rubbish. We need to get rid of this talk about safe seat. The only time your seat must be safe is when I can come down to your constituency and chill out on a corner and not have to worry that some man I go do some drive-by.
Absolutely.
Why must I call something a safe seat when the two set of people in the constituency are war? And Mark Golding, they're talking about, yeah, the junglists, them have my back, you know, the junglists, them have my back, and them give me a strength, you know, and them give me a strength, you know. Come on, brother. The only time it is a safe seat is when me can walk through that constituency any hours of the night That is when you call something a safe seat, brother.
Yeah. Mr. Vegas, it was nice talking to you, sir. There is something that I would love to talk to you about off the air. I don't know if you'll be kind enough to let us have that discussion.
Blessings. I will send you the information.
Thank you so much, sir. Listeners,
There
you have it. Mr. Vegas is prepared to enter representational politics, and he is suggesting that he would go to Mark Golden's constituency. My time is running out, but I could take. That was a fascinating discussion. In listeners, did you enjoy that? We're going to talk to Winner and Delroy and Andrew, and then we're going to leave you here. Winner, are you there?
Yeah, man. How you doing? Good night.
Winner, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You hearing me?
Good night to you. Good night to you, Winner. How are you, sir?
I am not bad. I'm not bad at all. How are you?
I'm fine. Hi.
Yeah, not bad. Just a little bit of highlight, and just a reminder for Jamaicans, well-thinking Jamaicans who are patriotic and believe that we want a crime-free society, and we can get that through the help of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We are having Blue Day tomorrow. Back the blue. Put on your blue shirt, your blue pants, your blue everything, and come out tomorrow in full support of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And we are sending solidarity to them, that we back them. And it's time we hold the crime situation by the horn in Jamaica and get rid of it once and for all. We have the criminal elements on the run, they are cornered, and we have to capture this beast.
Okay, Winner.
Yeah.
Two truths should not compete against each other, you know, sir. The cause of JFJ, do you not think that it's a just cause?
I mean, the call first was they're gonna march against police violence. Where is the data to support that?
No. Two truths should not be competing against each other. So on the one hand, hold on. On the one hand, we want to support the police. On the other hand, they have a concern that I think should concern. You know something, Winner? One of the things that this high continuous murder rate has done to Jamaicans is that we have gotten a little insensitive to life.
Yes.
Are you there, sir?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
To life, Mr. Winner. And you know, sir, one Jamaican life lost, unfortunately, either through violence or through extrajudicial killing, is one too much, you know, sir.
I know that.
Yes. So why it is that what is to be achieved for putting ourselves out there to suggest that they do not have a point, that JFJ don't they have a point?
They have to have a point backed by data. And I'm saying that I'm not out here supporting extrajudicial killing. I'm not saying that the police should go out there and shoot at unarmed civilians or even civilians who have surrendered. I am not for that. I'm not backing that. Once you open fire at the Jamaica Constabulary Force, they reserve the right to return fire. They are not trained to disseminate bullets in people's legs and arms. They are trained to hit body mass. They are expert at their crafts. And if they're engaged, they must protect their lives.
Yes.
And we have Indicom. Hold on, give me a second there.
Yes,
we have
sure.
Indicom, which we charged with the authority to investigate and hold police accountable. If the JFJ finds that there's an issue, march against Indicom.
Okay. Have you ever heard the term, Winner, that justice is not a cloistered virtue?
No, I never heard it before.
Never heard it?
No.
That she must be allowed to suffer the scrutiny and respectful, even though outspoken comments of ordinary men? Never heard that?
Never heard it before.
Okay. I'm going to ask
understand you. Justice should be able to stand up to scrutiny.
Yes.
That's yes.
Yes. And you said that JFJ does not have the evidence.
The mandate of JFJ, as well as the attitude towards the police force, is one that is not justified in the manner in which they have come across. Yeah, I am not saying that you're not supposed to be calling out the police force for what perceived might be doing, and out of the number of incidents that have been put forward so far or have been committed by the police, what percentage of that has been extrajudicial killings?
Well, I don't know.
Exactly. You and I don't know because JFJ have not told us. They have not put the stats before us.
There has to JFJ is, would you say JFJ is an irresponsible organization?
In their approach to what they're doing, if you believe that the police force is a violence, are committing violence against the Jamaican people, you're supposed to be able to tell the Jamaican people how, supported by data. We are a facts-driven society. Neighbor, if you want people to hold on to what you are saying, you have to present the information in such a way that people can understand. The JFJ have failed to do that. And when you have a murder rate going down to 38%, sorry, people can see that, neighbor. People can go out on the street and then feel that, and the intensity that they used to be in their community is no longer there. People can see that. And when you are going to push at that, the real feelings that people have, people are going to push back. You have to tell me why I don't believe the things that I see and feel.
Are you concerned, Winner, of that the police, it appears to be using excessive force? Is there any concern that you have that the JCF may be using excessive force against Jamaicans?
My concern would be, neighbor, when the information is produced by Indicom to say that, listen, a vast majority of these incidents are questionable, then I would have to start look at the Jamaica Conservative Force differently. Until then, I have to support their cause. They have families too. And if these incidents occur where they are fired on, they reserve the right to protect themselves.
Who is arranging this? I'm coming to you. Who is arranging this? This is a protest?
It's basically a support. A call for support in the Jamaica Conservative Force.
But that should be done by Jamaicans every day. We know.
It should be done by every day, but we are finally highlighting something, neighbor. It was something that was brought. It was born out of Chuck Finley and the group that I am a part of, and we envisioned something like this where we can actually make a difference as
so
Jamaicans.
This is not a party.
And this is not a political thing. No, never.
But
no,
do you agree that there may be those who would want to put that perception in the minds of the public?
And that is why we use blue. We don't want persons to see this as political. We want it to be a Jamaican thing, because it is not normal for 1,000 Jamaicans to be unalived every year. Not because it's not your brother or your sister and you don't feel a sense of connection to it. It's just a matter of time, neighbor, before we become the same statistics that we are seeing.
Yeah. But JJ is saying that you guys are overlooking the protest call for systemic reforms like body-worn cameras, which global studies show can reduce complaints and use of force incident by 10 to 20%.
The government is not averse, nor the JCF is averse to the body-worn cameras, and they have procured, but it makes no sense you have these devices and don't have the hardware, neighbor, to back this up. We don't talk about the cost of one of these things and supported by the hardware. It's expensive.
Agree. So go ahead. You have about 300 people to talk to. Tell them about what you're doing tomorrow.
So tomorrow we are back in the blue. We are back in the Jamaica Constabulary Force as law-abiding citizens that wants to see an end to criminality and criminal elements in our Jamaica. Because once we get that resolved, neighbor, we will see an influx or inflow of financial development within our country. And we want a better, safer, secure environment to raise our kids, and our kids raise their kids, and our grandparents can sit on their verandas and have conversation without fear. The youth man supposed to be able to walk on the corner of the streets, neighbor, without fear of ridicule or loss of life. That is the type of Jamaica that we want, and we have to take a charge.
Why have you not kept this out of the political fray? Why is Senator Morgan involved?
No, every Jamaican is involved now. I don't.
Yes,
think
sir.
it's
But Senator
Jamaican
Morgan is a member of the Jamaica Labour Party. He's a
yes,
senator.
but he's also a Jamaican.
Eh?
He's also a Jamaican.
Yeah, but so is the Prime Minister.
But we want this cause, neighbor, to be void of political for.
Then why is
politics.
Senator Morgan encouraging Jamaicans to wear blue? And he knows his position, so he's a Labourite.
Because
he's a
Jamaican. But we are all Jamaicans first.
So is
we
the
are
Prime
Jamaicans
Minister
first.
and the Governor General. Why don't
the
they?
The Prime Minister is a Jamaican first, and then a Prime Minister second. You are allowed to remove. You are allowed to remove that coat of politics, neighbor, and support a cause that is just.
Yes.
None of us want to make the statistics that of 1,000, whether or not it is a brother or a sister. It's just a matter of time before that Russian roulette shows up at your door. We are not supposed to be embracing criminality, neighbor. This is not just about this cause should not just be about the JCF, but a stand by citizens to say, listen, we are no longer accepting criminality in the Jamaica that we want to see.
Okay. As I said, sir, two truths don't compete against each other. And I think both sides have a cause. It's a pity that on the day
I am all for body worn cameras, neighbor, because it provides some sense of evidence. Also safety for the community, and also safety for the police officers as well.
Yes.
Because you can be told lies on, right, by citizens. So but we have to make sure that the requisite technological devices are there in order to support the instrument, because it makes no sense you capture the image and you can't extract the image from what you have. So the charge now after today is for the government to make sure that all of these equipments are installed, purchased and installed, procured and set up at a central location, as said by Dr. Chang, in order for our police to start wearing all of these body cameras. No operation should be conducted without these things going forward. Yes. Yeah. So it is more than just one call, but the call is we are all saying no to criminality tomorrow by wearing blue.
Very good, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Great. Mr. Minot is Minot? Barry?
Yes, sir.
Barry Mighton, how are you doing, sir?
I am good, neighbor. How are you doing?
You have caught me late, so I
had a very rough night last night, and work was a little challenging today, so I got home and went to bed. So
Barry, you would have heard the term that justice is not a cloistered virtue, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And that it must stand the scrutiny of the common man.
Must not only be seen to be done, but must.
Why has the government not chosen to release the reports that the people calling for?
The report. What report are you talking about?
Okay, you don't hear that there's a call to release a report.
Not in recent time. You mean the You mean the FinSAC report? What report?
All right. Leave that alone. Let's go to the protest on tomorrow. What is your view on the JFJ's position vis-a-vis these Jamaicans who are saying that you're to wear blue? How you look at it?
All right. My question is, neighbor, to the JFJ. What is the purpose of your protest? Are you seeking to get justice in the streets? And for over the many years that we have developed a country and a constitution, what provide us with what institution can we go to get justice? Is it in the streets? Do we go for justice? Are we going to the courts for justice? What would better?
What's wrong to highlight a concern, though, Mr. Mike? What is wrong for a civil organization to highlight a concern? What's wrong with that?
Nothing is wrong with an organization highlighting a concern. But what do you choose to do? Do you choose to take when you realize that there is so much people who are against what it is that you are trying to do, and there may be you are supporting a group that the police and the well-thinking Jamaican would consider to be criminal, or they are alleged to be criminals, right? And the law-abiding citizens of Jamaica who are supporting the police, and you now are going out there to support a cause of people who are alleged criminals. Now, what you are seeking to do is to bring a level of confrontation with the law-abiding citizens and the people who are alleged criminals. And what do you think would happen if the people who are alleged criminals come to join you, and the law-abiding citizens come to counter protest? It is spelling anarchy, you know, and lawlessness, because if God forbid, and there now seems to be something that happened and it escalates into a confrontation between the two groups. You know, you probably may see, if you are supporting people who are alleged criminals who have been taken out by the police because of nefarious activities, it possibly means that there may be people of nefarious activities who will come to support your protest, right? And they may actually carry their weapon of trade concealed, however, to the protest. And the possibility exists that those law-abiding Jamaicans who are supporting the police may become victims of these people nefarious trade. But let us take it down that road, though. Don't you think that in this day and age of social media, right, where every possible space that you go on, you find Jamaicans in lives and strolling, that if you have a serious concern, that this would be a better place to take your concerns. And another way to look at it, what better way to support the people who you claim have been unalived by the police than to support their case in the courts against the police as against going on the street? Do you expect the judge to be influenced by your protest action on the street? And the next question is, aren't there institutions in Jamaica that are set up to actually look into the issues of unaliving by the police and place charges where they seem fit to place charges? And so what good your protest would to do in actually supporting the cause of the people who the police have unalived or their relatives? You know, I don't think it will do us any good. It will only create a divide in the country. And I think this kind of protest by a group that is funded because of crime and violence in the country, to be protesting the fact that police is actually getting crime and violence under control, it would suggest to me that they have an ulterior motive, because if crime and violence isn't going in the wrong direction for them, right, it may mean that they need to keep it in the direction that it is always going so that they can continue to be funded. And sorry, it may sound away, but it is simply saying to me that getting crime and violence under control is not in the best interest of Jamaicans for justice, because their personal agenda will be derailed if crime and violence come under control, because they will not attract the kind of funding that will keep them afloat.
By the way, listeners, the Liberals seem to be winning the elections in Canada. I'm trying to check in with what is happening over in Trinidad and Tobago. I only have 11 minutes, Barry. I'd love to. Are you available tomorrow, Barry?
Say that again?
Yeah, I'm saying to you that I only have 11 minutes. Are you available tomorrow to talk to me?
Oh yes, man. What time you normally?
I was on today. I'm normally come on at about 9 o'clock. I wanted to take the listeners down to Manchester. KC, if you are online, I could still talk to you, because we picked up something over in Aldershaw's constituency that we wanted to share with the listeners. My understanding is that the machinery on the ground over there is falling apart. Maybe that's a strong word. So we wanted to share that with the listeners tonight. Casey, are you anywhere near listening that you could jump on for 5 minutes? I only have another 10 minutes. Mr. Dobney, how are you, sir?
Wonderful.
How is the campaign going?
Well, as good as it can be. We continue to build our momentum, as this week will be a very active week for us. And we're going to be having...
Tell us what is happening on the ground for you this week.
Well, we're having our continued Pandikana at the office on Friday. And on Saturday, we'll be going into the Greater Portmore East Constituency Division to have a focused meeting, Pandikana as well. And we continue to do our canvassing door to door. And, you know, we continue to build the momentum. We have other persons that is going to be joining us on the ground also. And, you know, we continue to do what we have to do in a pre-campaign. We are in a pre-campaign mode. And as soon as the Prime Minister gives
is it true, Mr. Dobney, that your canvas is showing you that you have closed the gap and probably pulling ahead? True?
Definitely.
Wow.
You know, definitely. There is not a walk that we have done that we have gotten any positive energy for the incumbent or opponent. And we are comforted by that, because the negatives are high. Yesterday we was at a meeting in the Brayton community, and I addressed the audience, and you know, there was positives. Yes, there was a little, not about tribal politics. We are about ensuring that they and the rest of Southern St. Catherine get a type of representation that they truly deserve. And that is indeed what we're talking about.
Yeah, I understand also, Mr. Dobney, that constituency polls puts you within striking distance. That is true too?
Well, indeed, that's what we're seeing on the ground. And we continue to put the message out there that we are saying to the incumbent, show us what you have done, show us the stewardship for the 32 years, show us why people should be voting back for you. But at the end of the day, we are providing them with an option, and that is an option that is entrenched in the mission and mandate of the Jamaica Labour Party, to bring about transformation, to listen to the voice of the people, and indeed to craft a way forward that involves each of them, all of them, our young people, our seniors, our, you know, we're trying to be very inclusive. And we have also made it clear that we do not come with all the solutions overnight. We come to work together as a team, as people who are part of the citizenry or the residents of Southern St. Catherine, to ensure that we feel comfortable about what is happening and by extension, what each of us role will be in that objective transformation that we're looking forward to.
Yeah, and what difference you think you can make, Mr. Dobney, to the people of Portmore? Obviously, should they entrust their confidence in you? What is the difference?
The difference is that we are going to be collaborative. We are going to be ensuring that we have timelines and achievements. One of the things that I'm putting on the table is that within the first 100 days of my tenure as a new member of parliament is to empower 100 business persons, small, medium business persons, so that they can become part of the economic base, firstly for themselves, their families, and indeed for the wider growth and development of the Southern St. Catherine region. We intend to engage our young people for at least 3 months, and once we engage them for at least 3 months, we must ensure that they are in a meaningful enterprise. One, we must ensure that they are taking advantage of the many opportunities that are available through HEART and STA. We're looking at that. We are ensuring that we engage for the betterment of each of the residents of Southern St. Catherine. We don't know all the answers because engagement will bring about a conversation. Once there is a conversation, then we can find solutions together.
Fantastic. Finally, Mr. Dobney, one of the concerns for people living in Portmore is the toll. Do you have any ideas on how you can maybe come up with a proposal, a plan that could see some relief for the people living in Portmore?
I don't want to seem to be create a pie in the sky situation, but I do believe that as long as you're a resident of Portmore, there has to be some way of looking at how we can reduce the tolls to the residents of Southern St. Catherine, indeed the wider Portmore, taking consideration East Central, Southeast St. Catherine, and yes, Southern St. Catherine. Because we live here, and while we do not oppose to the toll, we want some of that resources to come in back into the community, especially the new parish, for infrastructural development, youth empowerment, sports, culture, all of that. I do believe that the Portmore people has the capacity to pay. They will pay the toll, but they want to see something coming back. We also want to look at, maybe it's not so, as I say, a pie in the sky situation, even a one-way toll, because, you know, you go in a party, you pay to go in, you pay to come out of Portmore, but we don't want you to pay to come back, because that's home. So a one-way toll is also another option, something that can be looked at. But again, the realisticness of it is something that has to be explored based on the economics of things, because, you know, you can't ask for things that are not possible. But we are saying, look at this as a solution. As long as you're registered residents of Portmore, have a property in Portmore, then you pay the toll to come out, but we're not going to charge it.
Do you have any town halls planned, Mr. Dobney?
Definitely, as the momentum.
Question and answers where people can engage with you.
Our Pandikana situation is supposed to engage our young people. We're supposed to engage our seniors, where we can have a conversation with the seniors. And yes, yesterday when we were in Britain, I had conversation with some seniors who were very involved in community life. But what is happening is that the whole issue of the engagement of our seniors, who have a host of ideas as to how we can continue grow and development based on experience that they would have had. I've had conversation with them. They'll tell you what needs to be done, but they're not being engaged by the current leadership of Portmore, in my mind, because they do not feel that they are a sense of, are indeed a part of that development thrust. You know, they do not feel. So we are trying to engage all in relation to their different skill sets and their different levels of understanding of the Portmore community.
Thank you so much, sir.
And yeah, and before I go, I want to just wade in quickly on the whole issue of wearing blue tomorrow.
Yes.
I've been the president of the National Neighborhood Watch Movement for a number of years. You may not necessarily hear about the communities that have low to no crime rate. And Portland was one of our flagship parish, Portland. You know, we had leadership in Portland where the neighborhood watch is concerned. We have excellent police officers in the community safety and security branch right across the length and breadth of this country. And one of the proposals that we put on the table is that every single police station across this country should practice the CSSB type of policing, a policing that interacts with the people, a police that engages citizenry of communities, a police that gathers intelligence, in other words, being proactive rather than reactive. But I dare declare that when you get to a point where a society becomes almost lawless, where crime, in other words, violence, in other words, violence, the persons who contribute in violence, in other words, the terminology for them is violence producers, are becoming a part of the fabric of our society. I do believe that the police who has been sworn to uphold law and order, and indeed declaring themselves as a force for good, must take extraordinary measures in order to allow the violence producers to understand that there's no place for them. We cannot have a group of people, which is a minor fraction of the Jamaican populace.
Yes. Sorry, Mr. Dobney, time is against me. Weren't you interested in becoming mayor, Mr. Dobney?
Yes, I was, and that indeed was part of the overarching representational pathways for me in giving value representation. As mayor, I would be in charge of all of Portmore, but indeed the party thought otherwise as it relates to maybe what was pending, who knows,
yes.
Forward thinking. I am still here as the constituency chairman and still ensuring that I give value to giving the type of representation that is missing from the 4 councillors in my constituency, and indeed the mayor, who has a part to play, and a member of parliament. And my final parting words to them is that I want them to come forward and declare to us the value of representation that they have given to the people of Southern St. Catherine.
I have to thank you, Mr. Dobney. We talk again tomorrow.
I will definitely be here to talk. Excellent program. Excellent hosting by yourself. And I say to you, you are heading in the right direction. Jamaica needs you to ferret out the truth and ensure the message that needs to be heard by the average, and indeed all Jamaica, is heard. You're doing an excellent job, and I want to thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. You keep coming, and we keep talking. You hear? Take care of yourself.
Indeed. Take care too.
Yes. Mr. Barry?
Yes, neighbor.
As we say, I should be on about 9 o'clock tomorrow. I'd love to talk to you about a couple of issues. You hear?
9 tomorrow, AM or PM?
AM, man.
AM.
All right.
All right, not a problem. I'll be on.
Take care of yourself. I'm running.
Yeah, man, not a problem, brother.
Delroy, slowly. Delroy.
Yes, neighbor, I'm here, neighbor.
We have to close out with you.
Yeah, man.
Wonderful
program as usual.
Yes, you noticed that we didn't crowd up the box tonight, Delroy, and you stayed with us all evening listening, man. Thank you.
Yes, man, as always, neighbor.
You know the man down the bottom, Sir Sidney Blake, you know him?
I know this guy for having a series of verbal diarrheas on TikTok, neighbor.
His belly a run.
I would repeat again. I am familiar with him, neighbor, having countless amount of verbal diarrhea on the internet.
He has run in a belly.
Verbal diarrhea.
Sydney?
Yes, sir. No.
What's happening to your belly? Why your belly keep running, sir?
I don't know what to that man. What said this man? I
no,
mean,
you don't know his name?
Yeah, it truth hurts, you know, man. It truth hurts. So when you talk the truth.
What truth hurts?
Well, no, I'm talking the truth all the while so they can stand it. So they find all sort of things.
What are the truths that you're talking, sir?
Yeah, it's like I'm telling, right. No, this government is in power for 9 years, and I don't see them build a school for the young people.
You start out wrong. You
Yeah,
start
but-
out wrong. You're gonna have
Why?
to, hold on, you start out wrong.
Why?
You're gonna have to book, come talk to me tomorrow, you hear?
Yes, but just
No, hold
I know
on.
that. But just
No,
give
no,
me a
hold on.
chance, maybe just
Hold
answer.
on.
You're not just agree because I'm saying.
Just
You
hold
know-
on, sir.
Okay, sorry, I never hear. Yeah.
One of the things we must stop doing in Jamaica is talk about
Yes.
this government. This government don't exist, sir. Say the government.
Oh yes, but I'm following.
No.
I'm,
Say the government.
I'm following the government because all the while they say this government.
May I ask you a question? You drive?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
drive, sir?
Yeah.
You drive?
Yes.
You drive on road?
Yes, man.
Who fix the road them?
Well, the both side fixed road, but
Say
let's
the
have
government.
to-
Say
Yes.
the government fix it.
Yes, but just give me a chance, man. Me say
No,
to
no,
me.
I will give you a little chance, man. We just want you.
Yeah,
we
but-
just want us to. You see,
All
my
right.
brother. If we are going to change the culture, we have to change the lexicon, the words. The words we use have impact. Words are powerful, you know, sir.
Yes.
And we
But-
have divided this. Hold on, we have divided the society along party lines. You are a supporter of the People's National Party, sir. Are you?
Yes, sir.
You are free to do that, and we are happy to have you. But
Yes.
don't come over here with negative words
No,
because
but
words
well,
are
no.
powerful.
Yes, I understand, but I want
Thank
to
you.
tell you the reason why I say that. Because all while this government said this government, and them say it, you know, me follow, you know. All the while the Prime Minister said this government, you know, some have to follow them, and them, me say so. Because them have said this government do that, this government do that.
All right. How do you feel? How do you feel realizing at this time that the party is on the cusp of a third term? How do you feel about that?
No, I understand when I say cost, me not really up to date
It's
with
on
that
the
word.
threshold. The threshold. It is.
Neighbor, and tell him say soon. It means they will soon get the third term. Yeah, brother.
Just ease yourself. Me talking to the host.
Yes.
That-
All right, sir. Sorry.
You're not to make one a belly really talk.
All right, wipe off your mouth and talk.
All right, Mr. Host. You're in my address. You understand? All
No.
right. So you understand. All right. Don't take it go on. He must show him true colors, you know. Yes. He must show him true
brother.
colors was. No, he won't talk about him colors, you know.
Yes.
Yes, host.
You are supporting a third term, aren't you?
No, man, not in a million year. Not in a million year.
Come
And
on,
that
man. I know that
not
you are.
under this. You
You're a
don't like the
sensible
word.
man. You know better
You
than
don't
that.
like the word. You don't like the word this government, but I'll say it again. Not under this government.
I see.
Yeah,
I
but
see.
I know you don't really like this
There
government,
are,
but
there
I
are those,
say
there are
it in
those
this
who
government.
say there are those who say that your government is a mash-up government. They mash up the country.
I think they're crazy because as I'm saying right now,
Yes.
all right. I'm saying right now, the young people, let me start at them first. I don't see
You're
them
going to
in
get a third
school.
term in opposition. The listeners are saying
But-
you're getting a third term in opposition.
Well, I mean, JLP listeners will say that, you know, man. But when we take the case now, you don't build a school for the young people, then.
No, they build
That's not the
schools.
first thing. And you
No.
know, school is thing, right? You don't build an academy for the young people, then. All right. You don't
All right,
build
let me
a
ask you a
hospital,
question. Let me ask
and
you
you're
a
in there
question.
9 years now.
Before you go, sir, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Tell me, don't.
A minute,
talk
neighbor. Just a
Yeah.
minute, one or less, please. Sorry to interrupt you. So after all, who's going to clean up all this verbal mess that this guy is creating on this space? Because he's creating a verbal mess, you know. As in, he's having a verbal diarrhea and it is causing a mess. We don't want to be mopping up this type of mess in a neighbor.
I am sorry, but my friend Sydney,
Yes.
I
You
have
see-
to go. No, I have
Well,
to go.
you see the reason. You see
But I
the
have to
reason
go.
why him call me those things. Because the truth, I tell you from the beginning, the truth hurts.
I am.
Because I can't tell me a
Look out for me
But Mr.
tomorrow.
Blake, Mr. Blake, to be very
What
honest
time-
with you, you
what
know,
time you really- what
Mr.
time you
Blake,
really come on?
to be
What
honest
time
with you,
you come
Mr.
on?
Blake, to be
No,
honest, you know,
I'm going to give you
Mr.
20
Blake,
minutes.
the host was talking to you respectfully, you know, and
But
ask
I'm
you
still-
to.
I'm still
No,
talking
man.
to the host
All right.
respectfully.
Sorry, Mr. Blake, if I offended
I'm
you.
never
It was never the
disrespect the
intention
host.
to. It was never the intention to speak the truth, and it offend you. But if it offend you, I'm gonna apologize for the truth. It offend you.
No,
All right.
no, don't steal
Me
my
not offend
word.
you, you know, the truth offend you, so
Don't
me
steal
apologize
my
on
words,
behalf of the
please.
truth.
Yes, Sydney.
All right.
Sydney.
Yes.
Sydney.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Pick up
host.
yourself.
Big up. What time you say you're coming on tomorrow, please?
Yeah, I'll try for 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Okay.
If you
And-
don't,
all
if you
right.
don't catch me at 9, you catch me at 2. You hear?
Yes, and you promised me a little time now, remember?
No, as a matter of fact, Sydney.
Yes, yes.
Are you? Do you follow me?
Yes, I think so, you know, but I'm gonna do it right now again. Makes
Yes,
sense.
and send me your number. We call you and make you know when I'm coming on, so we can have a chat here.
Okay then. Okay.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you too.
You drink
Thank you
white.
for
All
the
right, Mr. Blake, why Bobby Mouth?
Unless that gentleman up the top there. Sure.
Do you drink white, sir?
What you mean, like rum?
Yes.
No, I don't drink and I don't smoke. I
All
don't
right.
take alcohol and I don't smoke.
Talk to you tomorrow.
So I'm fully fine. Okay, thank you, my host. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Take care of yourself.
Take care. Yeah, take care.
Shall be a TM
Okay,
And
brother for the
don't
third
let that
term.
guy up the top corrupt, you hear?
So we must make you corrupt me then.
Okay. Okay, my friend. Okay.
All right, brother Blake.
Yeah. Owen boss.
Owen boss.
Good night.
How are you, sir?
Manners.
Manners, good stuff. Tired, man. Tired. I'm very tired.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. But what you want to leave with us? What is it that you are picking up in Manchester, Casey? Leave us with that. It's 2 minutes after 9. Let's see if we can run this up to what 20 past.
Frankly speaking, I told you 3 weeks ago when I break news on Manchester, I told you that the leading constituency for the JLP in Manchester over the years, Northeast Manchester, have been left unattended for quite a while. And it is kind of slipping. It is slipping, and I thought I had factored in my forecast that maybe they would have reorganized and start up the political machinery in that constituency by now. And based on the information I'm getting and what I'm seeing on the ground, they haven't. And I know maybe Labour won't like this, but you know, we are obligated to speak the truth. And I am taking Northeast Manchester out of the safe seat column for the JLP.
That's Audley Shaw's constituency, sir?
Yes.
What you're saying to me, Casey? Hold on there. But that is the safest Labour Party seat in Manchester.
That's traditionally,
Yes.
it's the safest Labour Party seat in Manchester. And if the JLP does not get their act together in that constituency, it may flip the whole parish.
Are you saying that the information that you are getting out of Manchester is that Audley Shaw's constituency has work to do?
A lot of work.
Gustav?
And they have work to do with their own. They need to galvanize their own support. They need to get with their own workers. The workers, the delegates, everybody is sitting down. When you ask them what's going on, they say, I'm wondering the same thing.
Repeat that for the listeners, Casey. Just repeat what you are saying there for me. I'm trying to get a few little things sorted out inside here and a little bit distracted. Just repeat what you're saying to me, because this is shocking.
Yes, I'm saying that Manchester Northeast is not in the safe column for the JLP at the moment. And, you know, I'm calling it as it is. And I tell you, neighbor, whenever I see something, I will come back to you and come back to the people and say, there has been changes here. And it's been slipping for a while, but nothing has been done. They still have the support in the constituency. It's still there. The bacon is still there. but they need to get their act together in that constituency. It's not one you can take for granted, because even in the best of times, there's still a fight to the finish line in that constituency. If you can recall.
What does this say? What does this say, Casey, to the prediction of Manchester generally? What does it say to Manchester on a whole?
I tell you, I use some constituencies and some parish in my forecast, and I will tell you, if I use these examples all the time.
What do you mean destroy?
Hello?
Sorry, Casey. I'm with you.
Yes. I use example all the time. Like I tell you that if the PNP is going to fight for St. Charles St. Mary, they don't have a chance of winning the election. And as good as things are in Northwest Manchester, I think if the JLP find themselves fighting for Northeast, it will hamper their chances in Northwest and may affect them in.
But why are you linking those two constituencies together? Because you are suggesting that
we always link the parish together.
But explain why.
They are neighboring constituencies. But
the machinery that is in Northwest is different from the one in Alder Shaw's constituency.
Yes. And if revamped, whenever active, Northeast Manchester machinery will always be better than Northwest and may even help Northwest. Northwest will need all the help they can get, despite the work that they're doing. You don't win Northwest with a weak Northeast. Not for the JLP. So,
all right. So listeners, here's what is breaking tonight from the forecasting perspective. The forecaster is suggesting that he has information that Northeast, sir?
Yes.
That Northeast Manchester has now moved outside of a safe JLP seat to a, what you'd call it now, a battleground, sir?
I would say so.
And that is because the machinery there. First of all, I think you should let the listeners know that the current member of parliament, Alder Shaw, is not running again.
Yeah, he's not seeking re-election.
Correct. And as a result of that,
that is known for quite some time now.
That has been known.
Yes, that is known for quite some time now. He have even gathered and endorsed a candidate that he described as based on good conscience. He had to endorse this candidate, but based on what
that's one of his councillors, eh?
Yes, based on what I'm picking up, he is not taking part in a race if there's a runoff. He would endorse the candidate and leave it there. So he's not opposed to the other aspirant.
How significant is this piece of information, you think, Casey? How significant do you think it is on the electoral fortunes of the Labour Party in Manchester?
Well, it is very significant because in the event of any close election, I tell you over and over, the PNP wins Manchester 3-1. Based on history. Whenever the PNP lose two constituency in Manchester, it is a knockout punch to the People's National Party. they will not win a general election and lose more than one constituency in Manchester. It's not possible. The maths will not add up across the country. However, I want to say that this happening in Manchester this time around, it's not really a reflection across the country, but it could impact other constituencies in Manchester, especially Northwest.
How would it impact Northwest? Because you have consistently spoken of the quality member, the caretaker in Mr. Young,
Yes.
and the work that he's doing there. So why would what is happening over there affect him?
Yes. All right. Northwest Manchester is maybe the third strongest, second or third strongest PNP constituency outside of the garrisons. So it's a really strong constituency. For instance, it's probably a stronger constituency than Southeast and a stronger constituency than Northwest St. Catherine, as far as the PNP is concerned. So Damian Young not winning last time around does not mean that he didn't do a good job or he didn't put in the work. Damian Young putting in the work now doesn't guarantee victory. He will need every organizational help he can get and every energy he can get. And there are some of the strongest part. As a matter of fact, Craighead, Northeast Manchester's strongest division is I think that go over into Northwest Clarendon, into Northwest Manchester. Yeah.
Well, so what is the party going to do now? What are you recommending?
Well,
that they settle on the candidate and get the workers together, because they risk falling behind. Wind here in this would be happy tonight, Casey.
yes, and Weath is no stranger to the constituency. This will be his third time running. And the JLP needs to signal their intentions. Yeah, they need
And
to
if it becomes divisive or divisive, it could spell further challenge there, eh?
maybe that's what they're afraid of. Maybe that's what they are afraid of. I think they should really keep a meeting and make a choice.
Well, Casey, we're gonna have to pick this up tomorrow. I know that it's late in the night, but you had to come on to give us this piece of breaking news. Listeners, you understand that we are covering the constituencies, but we picked this up over in Manchester, and we thought that we would just throw it on you tonight. So Casey, we talk tomorrow. You hear, sir?
Yes.
All right. Have a great night, man.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic. My friend from St. Elizabeth.
My neighbor, I'm here.
Wrap us up now, man. Wrap us up tonight. Take us out.
Well, neighbor, in a short, based on what me know and support as the reality, Jamaica does better when the PNP is in opposition. Jamaica has a lower crime rate when the PNP is in opposition. Jamaica has less death when the PNP is in opposition. Constituencies across Jamaica sees their best days when the PNP is not having
Hold on.
an MP
Are you
there.
saying it is the opposition People's National Party?
I am saying, neighbor, that every time Jamaica does better, it is because the PNP is in opposition. Neighbor, every time Jamaica is able to give back to its people more and not in debt, it is because the PNP is in opposition. Neighbor, every time the Jamaica government, the JLP, can invest significantly in roads or just general infrastructure, it is because the PNP is in opposition, neighbor. Neighbor,
What are you saying to me?
The fire stations that are being renovated now, and the new fire trucks, the new garbage trucks, neighbor, the new buses, neighbor, all these are possibility, all because the PNP is in opposition, neighbor. Neighbor, the police are having a better success track record, neighbor, all because the PNP is in opposition, neighbor. Neighbor, or when the teachers and nurses are dissatisfied, conveniently, neighbor, they have gotten their best salary increase in terms of percentage, neighbor, all because the PNP is in opposition, neighbor.
What you say to me?
Unemployment has gone down significantly, unprecedented numbers. All this a reality, neighbor, all because the PNP is in opposition, neighbor.
You are singing a chorus there, Delroy.
I am singing. I'm singing words of reality. I'm singing words of reality, neighbor, in no melodious way.
You wrote that down, sir?
I never wrote it down, neighbor. It is based on undiluted facts, neighbor, that every time Jamaica does better, it does better because the PNP is in opposition, neighbor. Every time Jamaica displays resilience after shocks, be it external or internal shocks, neighbor, it is because the PNP is in opposition. Neighbor, when you have constituencies after 30 years finally getting water, it is because the PNP has no MP there, neighbor.
Yes,
neighbor.
I see someone saying that Jamaica grows and glows under Labour.
Neighbor, every time Jamaica sees its best days, neighbor, generally, it is because the PNP is in opposition. Neighbor,
I see.
I would implore every citizen in Jamaica today to recognize and look around them, neighbor. See the differences. Neighbor, the Jamaica Labour Party brought about a change, and the change brought about differences, neighbor. And all these differences, neighbor, became reality, all because the PNP is in opposition, neighbor.
What a strong push you're making tonight, Gustav.
Neighbor, the government today can able to reduce the electricity in terms of the GCT on electricity from 15% to 7%, neighbor. You know why that has happened, neighbor? Because the PNP is in opposition, neighbor. Today, several people who would have been disconnected from the NWC under the PNP's era, neighbor, because of hardship, the man have to buy food instead of pay water bill, neighbor. These people have water in their pipes now, all because the PNP is in opposition, neighbor. These people, neighbor, they are mesmerized. In fact, neighbor, the developments are happening so fast. The people are putting themselves in conundrum. Can't believe, neighbor, like it's happening too fast around them. Neighbor, it is happening in their constituencies. It is happening nationally. Neighbor, I think so much good, just like how they said too much water can hurt you. Well, it seems too much good are happening at the sight of some of these people. They cannot fathom it, neighbor, and it is bringing them into conundrum, not because of bad management or mismanagement. Neighbor, every time this country gets recognized by external powerhouses for how it is doing, it is because the PNP is in opposition, neighbor.
Wow. But then, Gustav, the Don Anderson poll suggests that they are ahead.
Neighbor, Don Anderson poll is Don Anderson's convenient PNP poll. I changed that guy name, neighbor. I would give him a new name. I would take the C. I would take the C and put where the D in Mr. Anderson's name. I would call him Mr. Con Anderson. All he seeks to do, neighbor, is con the people's mind. Yes, neighbor. That guy is no genuine poster, neighbor.
I see. But then the PNP is able to fill classrooms, and they have a large amount of people running behind them, shouting time come. How you respond to that?
They have a lot of people behind them saying time come.
Yes.
Neighbor, the Jamaica Labour Party has more people than the PMP saying load up the third term. So yes, have them saying the time come. But neighbor, head to head, we are leading the Choose Jamaica chain ahead of the people who said time come to carry Jamaica backwards. Neighbor, every time Jamaica goes backward, it is when the PMP is in power. Neighbor, every time Jamaica debts increase, neighbor, it is because the PMP was in power, neighbor. Neighbor, every time unemployment goes up, it is when the PMP is in power, neighbor.
Yes, sir. Your MP's name is slowly, sir.
My MP's name is Mr. Delroy Prolific, hardworking action man slowly. Neighbor, that guy has more than one action name.
Yes. What are the other ones?
Oh, Action Pack.
Pack.
Opportunity Boss.
Uh-huh.
You want me to continue, neighbor? I could take up the whole night, neighbor. That's why I like to stay for the last, I want to show him respect for English teachers at the SS High School and other high schools. Why I don't want to mention that, I will keep myself firm anonymous for those who don't know me, neighbor.
Yes.
Respect to Mr. Bramfield and Mr. Nelson.
You were irredeemable, sir?
Neighbor, I would have had a challenge at prior school.
What are you saying?
But hey, neighbor, my life story is a personal thing that all right, neighbor, I will leave it right there. I have a history, man.
take care of yourselves. You hear? Catch you tomorrow. And